Hi everyone, today I'm going to be playing Stowaway 52, which is part of the Cardventures series, and in this game I am a stowaway aboard an alien ship that's headed towards attacking planet Earth. Sneak your way around the ship and sabotage the alien plans without getting caught. Now, the Cardventures are kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure game. If you remember those books where you'd read a page and then you'd have some options at the bottom and you'd turn to that page, it's kind of like that. Not exactly, but the gist of it is the same thing. So to start a Cardventures game, and there are a couple out at the moment, you basically pick a card, any card, and that is your random starting card that'll show the start of your story, basically. So I'll just pick a random one from the red deck. And so, to start our story as a stowaway aboard this alien ship, the air duct you are in suddenly becomes very steep and frozen condensation appears on all sides, making it impossible to climb. You notice that the service station looks like gravity controls. A picture on the grate next to the service station shows an alien with wavy lines around it. Maybe it's life support. So this is where we start. We're in an air duct and we have a choice to make. Do you want to head towards life support, in which case you would grab the purple number 6 card, and if you wanted to turn down the false gravity, you would grab the red 3 card. Now, I'll just mention, this is worth 1 point at the end of the game for getting to this card. Although we started with it, we have a point in the bank. This is just going to go into a pile. And the aim of the game is basically to get through the entire deck without going back on yourself. Because if these numbers would ever point to an option and you pick the option for a card that you've already had, the game is over. You count up your points and see what score you've got. And we have some cards with different endings depending on what score you got. And every ending is bad unless you scored the maximum 300 points. But I'm a long way off that in my attempts so far. So this is a playthrough where in advance I know that I am most likely going to lose. So here we are. So I think let's turn down the false gravity. That sounds fun. So this card that we've had now, it's got no more use. It just goes into a pile and it's going to get covered by the other cards that we will encounter, just so that you can't really cheat and see all of the cards you've had to influence your choice. So I try not to look and just grab red 3. And we see the next part of the story. Just try and get that on the camera nicely. You are now experiencing low gravity and find yourself floating up in an air duct under the bridge of the alien ship. For some reason, the weightlessness gives you a sense of bravery. So I can either climb to the bottom of the duct or climb out of the duct onto the bridge. Now, I've got 20 points for doing that as well. That's lucky. I think, let's climb to the bottom of the duct. Let's see what's down there. So I think 14's the last one. Here we go. A maintenance console appears before you that looks like it could be thermal controls. Looking out the window, you see a group of aliens come through a door and get on board small alien fighter ships. So, do I want to turn down the heat or go to the room the aliens just vacated? Let's turn down the heat. And here we go. The flashing door next to you stops flashing and locks tightly. Aliens are yelling something and heading towards a ladder below you. You see a small door to a storeroom nearby. It looks like you can squeeze under a portion of the wall behind you. So, go into the storeroom or crawl under the opening. I like the sound of the storeroom. Let's go to the storeroom. Maybe we'll find an item there. So here we go. You are in a small storage closet. The smell in here is absolutely awful. There are various boxes and pieces of equipment lying around. Aliens are moving around inside, preventing you from opening the door. There is a ladder that goes up through a door in the ceiling. Now, I'm interested in the ladder, but I definitely want to loot the room and see if we can get an item. Let's see, green 3. Here we go. Now, this is an item, and this is different in that when we are done with this and we've made the choice at the bottom, this is kind of going to go in a separate section where we've got a red keycard available now. It doesn't go onto the pile. It reminds us that should we ever need this in a future card, we have a red keycard available. So, 5 points. You find a red key card. The room you're in has 2 ways out. There is a door and a ladder that goes up through the ceiling. You can hear the commotion outside the door, but it sounds like the aliens might be moving away from you. Let's climb up the ladder and see what's there. So this stays out as a reminder that we've got the red key card. You climb a ladder and find yourself in a watchtower overlooking a fleet of smaller alien ships in the hangar. The console near the window has a half-sphere depression in it. The door to the room has flashing lights all around it. So I can put the computer sphere into the console or go through the flashing doorway. And this is a decision that's been made for me because I have not found a computer sphere. So this is part of the trick of winning the game. It's remembering where these things happened and that I would need a computer sphere, so make sure you don't pick an option that takes you here until you've got the computer sphere and so on. So I'm going to have to go through the flashing doorway, which is green 8. I have an 8. Walking through a flashing door leads you to a showcase of alien artifacts. There is one large, heavily decorated display case containing a metal sphere covered in electrical circuits. The ceiling slopes downward, and at the shorter end of the room you can touch it. Well, that sounds like a sphere that we wanted before. Okay, let's open the display case, because we might need it somewhere else, right? Or I have a feeling that something bad is going to happen for opening this display case. Purple 4. You find a computer sphere. It is covered with several circuits and lights. While examining it, you hear something. Alien voices are heading your way. You should secure yourself a hiding place before taking flight. Now, as useful as this is, I can't now look out for whichever card it was, the green 2 that needed the computer sphere. That is gone now. That option is gone for me, but maybe something else will need the computer sphere. Where would I like to hide? Let's hide in a crate. Number 9. So that stays out there as an item. So you pop off the panel and crawl up into air ducts of the alien ship. Crawling feels wrong, so you start looking for a way out. There are several vents that you can use to get out into rooms on the ship. And this sounds dangerous because didn't we start in an air duct? We could look for an important room or get out at the next vent. Now, this is where you can kind of start thinking, what decision did I make before? I'm sure we haven't had red 14, but I don't know about blue 3. But let's get out at the next vent because I don't like the idea of staying in the vent. Okay, you have found the ship's cafeteria. It smells really good in here. There are several weird alien foods sitting around. You hear alien voices coming from the kitchen. It sounds like something important is happening. So do we want to pick up alien food or head into the kitchen? Let's pick up some alien food. Oh, strange alien food. You find a blue key card. It's covered in some sort of alien goop, but it will work. You can hear commotion coming from the next room. The door starts to open and you've got to get out of there fast. There is a large air duct vent above you and an elevator at the end of the room. Well, I don't want to climb into the air ducts, so let's take the elevator. That's green 4. Oh, that was lucky. I thought we'd already had that. Okay, here you are in an elevator. It could take you anywhere, but you can't read the alien writing on any of the buttons. There are so many buttons. They all look similar, except for one button at the top, which is separated a little from the rest. Let's push a random button. Let's push a random button. Or the top button. Maybe it's a big red button. Yeah, let's push that. Number 11. Okay, number 11's still here. You reach the pointed end of a large cone-shaped room. Aliens are running back and forth, yelling loudly at each other. For some reason, you get the sense they're talking about you, but no one has noticed you yet. So we can either enter the closest corridor or try to get across the room. Let's enter a corridor. Green 14. All the corridors in this ship look identical. You can't put your finger on it, but this one feels different. It feels like it should be leading somewhere, but then it simply dead ends at a wall computer. Above the computer you can see an air vent swinging open with a busted latch. There's so many things trying to tempt me back into those air ducts, but luckily I have a blue key card, so let's use that and go to red 8. Okay. Here we go, 15 points. The wall computer starts emitting loud static. The wall behind you seems to fade out of existence, revealing a room full of charts and diagrams. In the center of the room is a holographic projection of Earth. So we can go to a computer terminal or start tearing apart all the paperwork. Let's go to a computer terminal, see if we can use this sphere, number 11. I hope we haven't already been there. Here we go. Number 11. The computer terminal before you lights up with a map of the ship on the display. There are several controls and options linked to each room. You are only able to deduce what a couple of them do. So I can turn the lights out on the bridge or open the cargo bay doors. Let's open the cargo bay doors. That sounds fun. Number 10. Here we go. As soon as you touch the controls, sirens start going off. Whatever was in the cargo bay is gone now. Wow, what a rush it is messing with the aliens. You can hear alien voices and they sound like they are heading in your direction. Do I want to get on the elevator or hide under a computer panel? Well, I've already been on an elevator. I can't remember if it was purple 8, but let's go for hide under a computer panel. Here we go. You are hiding under a counter on the alien ship. There is access to the air ducts under here. While hiding, you hear alien orders being shouted over the intercom system, and then you see aliens running out the door. I don't want to go back into those air ducts. Let's follow the aliens. Red 12. Yep, that's still there. So, red 12. Quietly, you follow behind some aliens marching down a corridor that you think leads to the hangar. An intersection of corridors is coming up, and you need to decide which way you should go. Stumbled over that. When you get to the intersection, you see one corridor is quite a bit larger than the other. So I can duck into the side corridor or sneak into the main corridor. Let's duck into the side corridor. Green 14. And my memory has run out. Green 6 would have been there and I could have carried on. But my luck has run out. I've made it through. It seems like an okay pile there, but when you see how many are left in these piles, I have not done a particularly great job. It seemed like it was going well. Should I go on? Well, I don't want to spoil the whole thing. I think that gives you a very good idea of, this is a very quick game anyway. What does it say on the box? It says 15 minutes on the box. I would say that's maybe 15 minutes if you're better at it. The time it takes to play probably depends on the choices that you make. And the more you play this, the further you'll get in the story, I imagine. So let's see what points I got. So the points for your items count because you went through those cards. So 15, 16, 17, 37, 52, 67, 68, 73, 75, 77, 97, 98, 113, which is a way off the 300 goal. So, with 113, you make a wrong turn and end up trapped in some sort of utility closet. There's only the one door out and it's locked tight. There is a window though. Now you are left to watch the alien attack on Earth commence without being able to do anything about it. And that is the result of my actions in Stowaway 52. So I hope you enjoyed that, and it gives you a good idea of what the Cardventures games are like. If you would like to see another Cardventures game, then the second one will be on the screen somewhere. And if you'd like to hear what I think about them in general, then there'll be another link for that. So your choice, and I will see you for the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.